Welcome to the ideaHUb Innovators podcast, where we spotlight the innovators and changemakers using entrepreneurship to drive impact and uplift communities. I'm your host, Dr. Lutisha Vickerie, an educator, researcher, and business strategist passionate about helping entrepreneurs turn vision into reality. In this episode, I'm joined by Theodore Massillon, founder and CEO of NOM Media, a cutting-edge marketing agency based in Queens, New York. From launching campaigns for standout brands like EatOkra and Minority Millennials to opening NOM Studios, Theodore is redefining what it means to scale with strategy and soul. His focus on community, content, and conversations makes him a leader in modern production and marketing. Tune in for a powerful conversation on creativity, culture, and building brands that last. Welcome to another episode of the podcast. With me today is
Theodore Massillon
from
NOM Media and NOM Studios.
All right, of which we are in one of your beautiful studios.
Yes, we are.
So I'm really looking forward to this conversation today. Why don't we start off with what led you to getting into this field, into this industry? What was your journey?
That's a good question. What was my journey? I mean, in high school, I was always the happy-go-lucky, kid who's always hyping people up. You always had that hype man in your group. So that just, in some way, shape, or form, naturally led to marketing. In college, I went to school for marketing, graduated with international marketing degree. And, I just love seeing people win. I love seeing people's stories, that kind of thing. And believe it or not, it started off with being in the food industry. Yeah. I wanted to be one of those quote unquote influencers, foodie influencers, and start a food network of some sort. Okay. And so in order to get funding for that, I was told I need to have some sort of revenue model. So I was thinking, well, I just market other people's food businesses. So that started from making food to marketing food, and then eventually led to marketing for everybody, and now mid to large size businesses right now.
Okay.
So it was a weird kind of roundabout way.
Yeah, but you even had another stop, right? After college, did you jump straight into?
No, after college, I was in Local 3 Electricians Union. So I worked for a project manager for a number of years, almost 10 years as a project manager, working on fit outs and buildings in the city and the electrical work in the union there. So yeah, there was a stop before all the marketing stuff too. Yeah.
I think that part of that journey, that part of your journey is important for those entrepreneurs who are, the college journey is still close to their heart, right? It's maybe about a few years ago for them. And so they're currently experiencing that. What do I do next? Right? How did you ever feel like you were lost in that process? How did you manage?
I don't think I felt like I was ever lost. I would say that I felt like I just needed to do more, or I needed to find my calling. It was never a sense of I'm not where I'm supposed to be, because at the end of the day, like everybody says, enjoy the process. And I would never be where I am today if I didn't go through that journey. So I wouldn't say I was lost, but I knew there was something else that I needed to do to kind of fill my soul.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And in that part of your journey, you gained a lot of great skills, because being a project manager, certainly you were managing
multi-million-dollar projects. Yeah. Being a project manager, helped me be a people person, deal with managing people, deal with managing budgets, deal with managing projects, everything that has to do with the project, it helped me. So that helped me in terms of starting a business, knowing what I have to do, how to bid work, how to get clients, how to make sure to stay under budget, how to estimate. All those things, helped me start the business, really.
Okay.
Yeah.
And how did you make the transition? What did your transition look like? Some people keep their main job, start doing work on the side, then they transition in. Some people are like, nope, I'm done. I'm in full time. What was it like for you?
So it was a little bit of both. It was a little bit of both. I was doing it on the side a little bit. I was working 2 jobs, stressful. I don't know if you've ever been in those situations where you just feel your eye twitch.
Yes.
Your eye twitch and like, oh, you're pushing yourself too much. And then it got to a point where I know people say you need to save 3 to 6 months or a year before you like take the leap of faith. Unfortunately, or fortunately, I took the leap of faith February of 2020 with no savings. And you know what happened in March of 2020? Yes. Which was good in a sense and bad. Good in a sense that like, since I left a month before the pandemic, I didn't get any of that unemployment money that everybody was getting for a year and a half, right? So I had to work my ass off during that pandemic era to make money while everybody was home chilling. But at the same time, it was good in a sense that you would think that digital marketing or marketing would tank, because that's what happened during the like 08, 09 financial crisis. Marketing was the first to go, but since everything went digitally, everybody needed video, everybody needed to upgrade their digital marketing services. No one was outside, so it actually allowed me to find work, do work, and also build a business at the same time, and that solitude that everybody's not rushing to get things done.
Okay.
So that pause kind of helped.
Okay, so you know, the sucky part of it for you actually turned into pushing you into your grit.
Yeah,
right.
Exactly.
Pushing you to lean in and really make sure that do or die, you're gonna get it done and make sure it was successful.
Yeah, because who would have known if I was getting that $700 a week? I probably wouldn't have been in such a rush. I'd be like, oh, I'm okay.
Yeah.
I'm good. Like the business,
it's coming along.
It's coming along. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So, tell me about the evolution of the company, right? You went through a few pivots, right? You started off in food, trying to create this food platform, this food influencer platform. And then you realized maybe, right? And one of the things we know to be true is that your first idea is never going to be where you stop.
Yeah.
Right? So for you, tell me about that process.
Yeah, it's kind of funny. As someone who's in it, you never believe that till you're in it. I remember very early on, I hired a company that helps you make pitch decks so that you get funding. They're based in California. I forgot their exact name, or I would shout them out. I think they're still around. I get an email every now and again asking how I am. But I remember making my first pitch deck. The lady, she was just like, you know, this is not going to be your company at the end of the day. We're just trying to make it, teach you the basis of a pitch deck. I'm like, no, this is going to be my company. And that's when I was doing food delivery service and wanted to make a food platform. But yeah, you're right. It went through a few iterations. So it started as a food delivery service. I was up late, like cooking at a ghost kitchen and doing meal delivery because it originally started off wanting to be like a Blue Apron type thing, right? And then I figured out, nah, this ain't it. I'm doing too much work. And so it then turned into a platform where we could host other people. And then building that platform didn't go too well. And then, you know, filming, and we're filming a lot of restaurants and stuff for free. And I was like, we were starting to get really good at it. So I was like, can't keep doing this for free. So we started charging for it. And then it got better and better till what we were charging seemed way too low. So then we found that, okay, marketing for restaurants really ain't it, because, you know, not knocking on small business, I'm a small business myself, you know, they don't have the budget for all that stuff.
Right.
So we started really pursuing medium to large size businesses, but not just in the food field, medical manufacturing, financial, real estate, security, even back in the trades. And that's where we found a lot of our success. And I'm very strategy focused, very template focused. So that turned into being really good with strategy and creative. And then I started hiring my team, and my team is just amazing as well. And so it's grown to this thing where it's starting to run on its own. We're attracting larger clients, we're attracting larger deals. So, it was never a straight line ever. It's like those memes that you see where you see a person climbing over a bridge and down and up. Yeah, it was definitely that. And right now I still think I'm like in the middle. I'm not at the top, but you could see the light at the end of the tunnel, I would say.
Oh, good. Yeah. Wonderful. And that light is bright. Now, before we talk more about the company and what you're doing now, I want to go back to an interesting take on your journey, right? When you are going through the college route and let's say, you have family and friends behind you, you choose a path, you forge that path forward, you start developing a career, and then you decide to pivot into something else where there's no certainty, there's no guideline, there's no, I'm just copying, pasting, repeating. I have to create this path myself. How do you handle the expectations of your core support group, whether it's family, friends, because you're trying to figure it out? How do you handle that? Did you have pressure from those family and friends to go in a certain way, and now you're transitioning?
Yeah, definite pressure from my family, definite pressure, not really from my friends. I feel like if you have a good group of friends, they'll always support you. Unless you're doing something really wild, I wasn't saying, I'm going to drop a mixtape. Even though if you're dropping a mixtape, keep at it, you never know. But yeah, definitely pressure from the family, because I came from a job with a 401k with benefits, union, like 30 years and out kind of thing. And I was just like, it ain't for me. And so that was definitely tough on the family, especially with, having to grind, going from, a 6-figure salary to like, I got $100 to put in the account.
It's a win, though.
Yeah, it's like I didn't have it last week, But for a while there, you kind of are alone. You have to realize that you kind of are alone in your vision, because nobody sees your vision. Yeah. And your job is to not just prove everybody else wrong, but prove yourself wrong, because obviously you have those feelings of what's the word I'm looking for? Imposter syndrome. You got those imposter syndrome feelings. And they really start coming around when they see the success, and they see like, oh wow, things are going. Like when you start doing better, you start winning the contracts, you start getting bigger deals, you open up a studio, you start hiring people. People are just like, okay, I see it. But you really are alone, and you really have to prove not just your family wrong, but yourself wrong, because that imposter syndrome is real.
It's so real. It's there with you when you look in the mirror every day, right? Yes. So how do you shut out the naysayers, even when the biggest naysayer might be yourself?
For lack of a better words, you just have to talk a lot of shit. That's for lack of better words. Is you just have to. I think when we talked last time, I mentioned delusional optimism. Like there's so many times where you're just like, I should just get a regular job. I don't know if this is gonna work. And when that happens, usually something else pops up, and you're just like, oh my god, like it's actually working. And not only do you have to shut out the naysayers, like you really have to shut out yourself. You have to be like, Theo, it's going to work. Just you're too, like, I don't know if you play poker, but by the time, the full deck is out, you're pot committed. If you bet like $300, then you fold right there, like you lost $300. I'm way too deep right now to quit. So there's no other choice but to win. And when you realize that and you say there is no other choice, you don't give yourself another choice, you don't give anybody else another choice, like that's how you shut it off. Because, you know, if you're gonna win, you're gonna have to win.
Yeah. All right. Now, lots of gems here, right? And I love that you were able to forge ahead, and you're still forging ahead. You're still developing and putting things into place, putting resources into place to really bring your vision into fruition. So what are some of the milestones that the company has been able to achieve that you're particularly proud of?
I'm particularly proud of, let's say, like, unofficially we started in 2019, but maybe officially we kind of started doing work in maybe 2021 in the marketing field, specific after all those pivots. I would say, you know, what is the typical life cycle for a business? 3 to 5 years. You know, either you close or you excel in those 3 to 5 years. So unofficially, we've been around for 5 years. If you talk, we started September of 2019. Officially, if you talk about maybe April of 2021, so we're 3 years in. So like that, I'm proud of saying that. Depending on the time frame, we're passing that mark, or we have passed that mark. The fact that we have legit clients, you know, that are with us for over a year, that we've grown, that we've gotten funding to open up a studio, that we're working with some awesome brands like Hofstra or Adelphi or any other of those big brands that I never thought I would work for before, that people know us, at least in the Long Island market. You know, people come to me all the time saying, Theo, you're doing amazing work. I want to work with you. And NOM Media, NOM Studios, that kind of stuff. So, I mean, there's a lot of wins that if I sit here and think about it, makes me proud.
That's awesome. I'm proud with you, right?
Yeah.
It's an amazing thing to see someone grow a seed from the very seed of the idea into a fully grown, right, and still growing business. And so part of that growth is dealing with the transitions of people, right? Because as a visionary, not everyone is going to be able to commit to the long haul journey of your vision, or even transition with the vision as the vision transitions into other things. So how has that been a part of your journey?
So it's been a lot of hit and miss. But at the end of the day, I learned, someone told me, hire slow, fire fast. So if someone doesn't really mesh with your vision, you got to let them go. But you have to take your time finding the perfect people to help you with your vision. And there are a couple of like ways that I do that, maybe one really. And it really is just making sure you take your time going through these applications, these interviews. The first interview is usually like 10-15 minutes. I don't think you should have a long interview the first time around. The second interview is usually much longer. You meet the person and then you kind of feel them out, body language. And one thing I really love to do is I learned this through EOS, Entrepreneurial Operating System. I don't know if you know who they are, but I know a couple of people who are EOS implementers here. My cousin is actually, I just found out because we went to dinner like last week. My cousin is actually the IP lawyer for the EOS system.
Oh, wow.
And they have a couple of books that teach you how to like manage your business, how to manage people, that kind of thing. Really good. You should read it. A shout out to EOS. But in the book, it tells you that your business needs core values. And you need to find out or figure out what those core values for your business are, and then hire people based on those core values. If they don't fit into those core values, then they're not going to fit into your business. Let's say you have 5 core values. If they're missing 3 or 4 of them, not good. If they have about 3 of them, you know, you can consider them. If they have 4 out of 5, then okay, you're good. So what I did was I took that and I really hire people based on what NOM Media's core values are. And one thing I think I do a little differently, might not do differently, but the way I look at it is those people have to have those core values themselves. It's not that they should fit into those core values for the company. So if you have those core values yourself, then, you know, you fit in what we do. And so when I take the time to do that, everybody who's been with me has been with me for a long time.
Okay.
Yeah.
So core values are the thread that connect the actions of the people in the organization and outside of the organization.
Yeah.
At least this is what I tell my students, right? And I firmly believe that because businesses are nothing without the people, right? And so what are your core values? What are the core values that undergird NOM Media?
Wow. You put me on the spot. Creativity is one, definitely at the top of the list. The urge or the yearning to learn. What I hold like number 2 on the list is research. We live, I say all the time, it's 2024. We live in the 21st century. We have the power of information at our fingertips. You know, I know people who have remodeled their whole entire house, not having any experience, but just watching Instagram, YouTube, TikTok. They see the skills, they try it out, and they've remodeled their whole house, saving a whole bunch of money. So when people say, oh, I'm not sure how to do that, it really kind of annoys me because marketing is not rocket science. It's just strategy and templates. So, yes, have a basis in marketing, but have that urge to learn more and more and more. Being humble but confident. The only way I got here is by being overly confident in what I know and humbly learning what I don't know. So being confident in your work, but knowing when to ask for help is definitely number 3. And I'm forgetting the last 2. But those are 3 of my main ones. I have 5, but those are 3 of my main ones.
Yeah, I'm certain the other 2 are just coming out in the conversation, right? Because a lot of times when we set the core values, it's just based off of how we operate normally, right?
Yeah.
What are we bringing to the table as individuals that are keystones in the way we behave, in the way we treat people? And that extends to the culture that we decide to set for the business venture we're creating, right?
Yeah. Another one I just remembered is teamwork. I just hate a bully. And not to say people are bullies, but, you know, a lot of the people I work with are also remote. So they don't have to come into the office. You can do everything from home. So just being responsible and being there for your team. If you have, I know things come up, but if you have a meeting to go to, a client to deal with, you know, just be there for your team, help your team. Don't be that person that's saying, oh, I just can't make it to this meeting last minute when the team is waiting on you. It's kind of like that group project feel. Like, I always have my team work together as a group, like you did in high school or college. So just being there for your team, that's another one that just came up as you were talking.
See? All natural things, right? So we talked about the values. What are some projects you have on the horizon that you might be excited about, if you can talk about them?
I've never been put in the spot where, can I talk about projects? Some projects I have on the horizon are, you know, we have a couple of clients that are in, you know, the medium to large size field that we're chasing right now. One thing that we got is we got confirmed as a vendor for Discover Long Island.
Ooh.
So Discover Long Island is Long Island's tourism board. So hopefully we'll be working with them promoting and marketing the Ryder Cup, which is coming to Long Island next year in 2025. So hopefully we'll be able to do that. Doing a lot of work with places like Jovia Financial Credit Union, really trying to break into that convention space, whether that's at Nassau Community College or other places like that. So, yeah, I mean, we're just doing a lot of great things. One thing that we're really proud of is that we're working with the Long Island Elite and Eat Into as their charity partner for the gala coming up in October. But yeah, I mean, definitely want to grow and work for big companies, like, you know, be a creative agency for a Nike or an Apple or something like that one day.
All right, awesome. And you're going to get there, and I get to say I knew him when. I knew NOM Media when. Now, you've always been a visionary and big vision person from this journey that you have so wonderfully laid out for us, right? How does that visionary approach help you to see your industry differently, right? Talk about what the landscape of the industry currently is, where it might be going, and how do you prepare other business owners in this space for those transitions?
Well, you just have to look at everything. I guess my job as a visionary is to look at other businesses with that, you know, 30,000 foot high kind of bird's eye view kind of thing. You know, you want to constantly just be above everything, look at anything from the industry to politics to the Fed Reserve to all those things, and just kind of like bring all those into like a book and see like how that's going to affect you. And I don't know how to explain it. You kind of just have to have it to kind of see it. I call it the airplane or the travel effect. You know, when you go on a trip, you know where you're going, or you know where you want to go, and then you build backwards. That's the same way you have to do with the business, and at least marketing, for example. Where do you want your business to be? Where do you want your business to be seen? What kind of clients do you want to have? You see that end goal. Now, how do we get there? So you build backwards. And, you know, you might run into stop signs and bumps in the road, but it's about, that doesn't stop you from building backwards. You still want to get there, so you have to find your way around it. So I guess that's the simplest way of saying it. Just seeing where you want to go and building backwards, just like if you were traveling. Y'all
heard it here first, the travel effect. That's a wonderful opinion. And so that's how you're setting your strategy. Where do you see, what are the transitions that are going to happen in the industry over the next 5 to 10 years or so?
Definitely the biggest transition is going to be somewhere with the AI. You know, a lot of people are just like, aren't you afraid of marketing losing its, you know, customers because of AI? No, not really. If you're a smart marketer, you'd be using it to your advantage, which we are right now. But definitely AI in some way, shape, or form. It's a lot easier to create content, a lot easier to create videos. But I see the industry with AI booming, moving into that human feel. You know, we're testing out a product here that really delves into that feeling of human. I can't mention it yet, but, you know, you're going to really see people wanting that human connection, that human touch, especially since we're 4 years out from the pandemic. People want to be outside. People want to experience. I say, as millennials coming into power, we're more about the experience than like the physical things. So, but now Gen Z is coming up, and Gen Z is Gen Z. So we'll see.
All right. So positioning yourself to leverage those tools and the innovations that are really coming out there to, one, give the audience and your potential clientele what they're looking for, but then also to help you make your business more efficient.
Yeah.
Right? What are some of the tools you leverage now that helps make your business more efficient?
Obviously AI. I see that as a starting point. It's a lot easier to use that and then kind of like build off of that, give you like a wireframe, as they say, and build off of it, then build a wireframe and then build something after the wireframe. We use a lot of automated systems like Zapier to automate, when someone comes on board, if they get an email, that kind of thing. We do things from email marketing, funnels, to even text message marketing we do right now. Some clients, text message marketing is perfect for. If you're a restaurant, if you're like a landscaper, that kind of trade business, you have repeat customers, so sending out deals, telling them, hey, the spring is coming, remember to cut your hedges and blah, blah. People will be like, oh, I got it on my phone. They'll, call you. What other technologies do we do? I mean, I can't think of any right now, but those are some of the main ones right now.
All right. Any specific podcasts other than the ideaHUb Innovators podcast, books that you tap into, YouTube sites that you tap into, just to keep yourself updated on that information that you so like to seek?
So I don't have anything specific. I would say that as a researcher, I'm always researching. So when building a studio, I spent months learning how to build a studio, cameras, lights, all these set design. So there might have been a couple of weeks where I was delving into set design just because I wanted to make it beautiful. And then there's a couple of weeks where I'm delving into camera and production and lighting. One podcast that I think is going to be really big that I'm a producer on right now is Policy and Culture. They film here. They're one of the first of its kind. They do the intersect between policy and culture and how civic duty is power. And so Dan Lloyd and Andrew IDG, they filmed that. So they have a lot of politicians and business owners coming on that podcast, and it's a really good one. I would check that out. But in terms of other things, I listen to The Daily. That's probably one that I constantly listen to every morning. That's how I get my news. I don't even watch the news anymore. But I would say in terms of podcasts, videos, that kind of thing, just what are you trying to get ahead of, and just get lost in that. And it'll really help. It'll really help.
All right. And for those up and coming entrepreneurs who are at that beginning stage where it's all about the grind. It's all about the number of hours that you put in just to get it up and running. What are your tips for balancing the effort you're putting into the company, but also balancing the effort that you're putting into your family? Because I know you have a family with kids. So how do you balance the two?
Definitely live off your Google Calendar. If it's not on the Google Calendar,
it does
not exist. So telling everybody, even my family, even when I have kids' activities, even when I have family activities, send me a Google invite, or let me sit there and put it on my calendar right now. For example, last week when I said I hung out with my cousin, I haven't hung out with my cousin in a really long time. She owns her own law firm on top of working for a law firm. I own my own company. So when we were at the family barbecue, she was like, we got to hang out. And I'm like, let's put it in the calendar right now. And it was a month out. We put it in the calendar. So put everything in the calendar. And for me, find out what your breaking point is and mitigate that. I've realized for me that I need to take a long weekend every quarter. So every 3 months, I need a long 3 or 4 day weekend or week, if I could, to like put down the laptop, disconnect, relax, enjoy myself, because if not, I'm going to burn out, because I do still work, 40, 50, 60 hours a week. Sometimes I'm here in the office till like 10 p.m. Sometimes I get out at 4 p.m. But just knowing how to mitigate your calendar, making sure the people that matter are on your calendar. Don't let them say that, you can't just remember. You have to schedule. Yes, you have to schedule yourself in. Yes, I'm sorry. But that's why you matter, because I'm scheduling you in.
And they will get offended too. So like, I gotta send you a count. Yes, please.
Yes, you have to schedule yourself in. And not because I don't want to hang out with you, because I'm a workaholic, and knowing, just to take care of yourself, scheduling your gym time, scheduling your walking time, scheduling your time with friends, do that. And you could do it for a couple of months in advance, So live off your calendar and just know your body and know how often you work and when you burn out and how to mitigate that.
All right. Yeah. Awesome. And with all of that, when all is said and done, right, what kind of impact do you want to have both individually and with your business or the business efforts that you are able to achieve?
So lately I was thinking that, growing up in a Haitian household, my dad was always just like, you could be anything you want to be. He wanted me to be a doctor. He wanted me to engineer. And at one point, I remember him saying, you're going to be the first Black president of the United States, right? And so, unfortunately, Obama beat me to it. So, I'm coming for you, Obama. But no, I'm just playing. But that instilled in me kind of leaving a legacy of some sort. And I don't know what that legacy is. I don't know what it should be, but I would like to, grow the business to be a multinational business, kind of like a VaynerMedia or Whedon and Kennedy, having a couple of marketing offices or departments in different cities and different types of the world. But to answer that question, I don't know. I just know that, by the time I'm done, whether it's a very small group of people or a large group of people, I just like them to know that, Theo is a good marketer. He knows what he's doing, and, he's made a couple people successful.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
And as you continue to evolve and build your business, what kind of partners, potential clients are you looking for? Remind us first, though, about the services you provide, and then tell us about those partners.
So the services we provide are we're a creative agency. That means we provide social media marketing, email marketing, SEO, ad development and management, experiential marketing, and the strategy behind all of that. Most of the time when people have an event to market for, you need to start at least 3 months ahead, from online marketing, making your social media look good and making your engagement look good and looking for your target client, to email marketing and really bringing old customers back into the fray to make sure you're staying top of mind, making sure your ads are out there, making sure your SEO on your website is out there. We do all of that. And then on the experiential marketing side, if you have a conference, if you go to a South by Southwest or you go to a CultureCon, any of those things, we're able to help you build those experiential sets and market that to make sure people come. We also have a video production side. So we have this studio that we just started out with, but we want to go to a part where we're able to rent a large studio out to like a Netflix movie or a Netflix show. If you need a documentary made, if you need editing, if you need podcasting, we're here to do that. So definitely have big dreams. And the type of client we're looking for, like I said, medium to large size. If you have a business with a small marketing department where they can't handle anything, that's what's perfect for us. We come in and we help that marketing department. Maybe they're really good with social media, but they need help on the email side. That's what we'll do. More SEO, that kind of stuff. And the clients we're looking to go for, we're looking, I said, the large ones that, you know, you see that new Nike commercial, you know, they have an internal marketing team, but they outsource some of that. McDonald's, they outsource a lot of those things. We want to be able to be that marketing team that creates a billboard that you see while driving down the LIE, and knowing that we're able to do the design and creation on that and help you with the media buying. We want to be able to create and provide a Super Bowl commercial, that kind of thing. So we're anything from that strategic side to that creative side of marketing, from small to large.
All right. Well, how can people find you?
You can find me on LinkedIn. That's where I'm most active. Theodore Massillon. NOMmedia.co. It's Theo, Theo, at NOMmedia.co. No M in there. And yeah, that's where you could mostly find me. Our website, nomstudios.co, and LinkedIn. That's where I'm most active, where you could find me and send me a DM.
Awesome, Theo. This has been such a wonderful conversation. Really appreciate that you have taken the time to share your journey. Appreciate that we have this beautiful space to host this podcast in.
Thank you.
And we're looking forward to continuing to be a part of the journey of NOM Media and you, because I foresee more businesses.
Yeah.
Right?
Hopefully. Yes, that's the goal.
Thank you. And until next time, see you on the next episode.